We're gay!
And we almost didn't see you there. I'm a lady.
And I just came here to tell you how fabulous I am.
And
welcome to a gay old time! Catherine, have you ever heard of shock treatment?
No.
Well, first of all, did you know that Rocky Horror has a sequel?
You lying bitch.
No, I'm not. I swear it has a sequel. Although Richard O'Brien, who wrote that shit, he called it an equal. But it's actually a sequel. And here is what it's about.
Tell me.
Catherine, do you remember Denton from Rocky Horror?
I do.
Oh my gosh, you do? Okay, well, it's been completely changed since the time of that movie. The whole town is a TV studio run by this fast food mogul named as Farley Flavors. Every morning they sing an anthem about how awesome they are.
Brad and Janet are called on stage for marriage counseling, and Janet is convinced to commit Brad to the mental health clinic,
known as Dentonvale.
Brad will learn how to care in a surgical chair.
At Dentonvale, we see some familiar faces, including Cosmo and Nation McKinley, who are definitely not incestuous and definitely not riffraff and magenta.
Janet visits her parents on their new TV show, Happy Homes. And just so you know, Janet's dad is not gay.
No gays here. Janet is seduced by Farley Flavors, who's handsome, noble, and definitely a nice dude. And he definitely does not want to take over the world.
It's bedtime, and it gets a little sexy.
Romance is not a children's game, but you keep going back. It's driving you insane.
The next morning, Cosmo dresses up Janet in a little black dress, and Janet feels sexy.
Janet is pushed out on stage and totally improvises this perfectly performed song about how perfect she is.
The whole town falls in love with her. Then we sing Shock Treatment. It's there.
Like a shot. You need a bit of shock treatment. Gets you jumping like a real live wire. Needs a bit of shock treatment. So look out, mister, don't you blow your last resistor for a pistol that'll mystify ya.
Janet is fed lots of drugs and dreams about being horny for attention.
Farley finally steps out on camera for real this time to crown the vivacious Janet as Miss Mental Health.
Betty Hapshat from before.
Oh, I can't believe it. An hour ago she was plain old Betty Monroe, and now she's Mrs. Ralph Hapshat.
Was fired from her job as a local reporter, and to get revenge, she teams up with the criminologist from before to break Brad out of mind prison.
They shove Brad on camera, who, by the way, is Farley's long-lost twin brother. They look so different. Janet wakes up out of her daze and takes Brad back.
Farley commits the entire town to the asylum. While Janet, Brad, and the band make their escape.
Yay!
The sun never sets on those who ride into it.
We just gotta keep going.
So we're going to rank this on 3 categories.
Is it good?
Yes, and here's why. I know a lot of people say that this movie isn't good because it doesn't have Frankenfurter in it or it's a different vibe, but I think that's a good thing. This movie is much more of a satire and has a lot to say. It really makes us think about how we drug people, about drugging people versus rehabilitating them, about about TV and how obsessed we are and how we just take what people say at face value instead of really thinking about it and really discussing what is actually happening. And I think that's something that's very relevant, especially today, when we see all of these people saying these different things and we just accept it without really thinking about what it really means. In Shock Treatment, we see a society where everyone willingly follows someone into an asylum to be electrified and to have all of these, and to be drugged out and have all these horrible things happen to them just because they were told by someone they saw as an authority figure that it was the right thing to do. What do you think, Catherine?
Oh God, it's like, honestly, this rewatch this time around, it was hard to stay entertained, like beyond the music. I have to be honest. It's like so hard to follow what's going on, and it's like they give you moments of exposition, but they're not engaging enough. Like I feel like I'm just sort of surrendering to whatever. It's more fun if you kind of just. It's ironic because that's like what Farley's asking Denton to do, is just surrender and like fucking don't think about it. But honestly, that's my advice to enjoy this movie. It's just like don't think about it. Just enjoy.
To think about it, I think you should think about the general themes, but like don't overthink the plot of it.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah, really, just like. And to be honest with you, Rocky Horror's plot didn't make sense either.
Yeah, but it's more like sexy and exciting and mysterious.
Yeah, but I don't know, man. I love 80s music, so I think the music is what really drives me back to this movie. I just love it. I love the 80s New Wave style. If you have not listened to the soundtrack, you gotta listen to it. Like, even if you don't watch the movie, listen to the soundtrack.
Yeah, absolutely.
Now, Catherine, is this movie entertaining?
Not all the time beyond the music. I have to be honest. It's like, it's nutritious, intellectually, and it makes you think, but like, do I enjoy the scenes of dialogue? Not really, always.
See, I don't know, man. I really like this movie. Now, are there some parts that, like, I think I find this movie entertaining because to me it gives me a similar vibe to something like MTV. Or, you know, I think it's the style and the aesthetic and just the whole look and atmosphere of this movie is what entertains me about it. And I love this music, and I love 80s new wave stuff. I really like it. I actually listen to the soundtrack more than I listen to the Rocky Horror one. I'm going to be honest. And I know that's controversial. Don't kill me, Internet, if the 5 of you who are watching.
Thank you, by the way.
Thank you. Thank you for watching.
I would say watch it so that you can say you watched it. Like watch it so that you know you have watched it. I feel like it's more enjoyable to think about after the fact than it is to like sit down and fucking watch fucking Martha Struthers.
Catherine loved this movie the first couple times we watched it.
I love the idea of this. Like, I would have rather been in this movie or worked on this movie. I feel like that would have been a more enjoyable experience to like be on set. Yeah, like I have respect for it, and I love the way it was made, and I love the concept. But like sitting down and just watching the movie.
I will admit, so I watched Rocky Horror and Shock Treatment. I did a science fiction double feature. And I will like Rocky Horror is like a much more fun movie to watch, but I don't know, man. I think something like about this movie brings me back to it. I think it's because Rocky Horror is very mainstream now. In a lot of ways,
crazy.
It's weird.
It should be underground.
But Shock Treatment still has that like. Not many people know about it. It still has a similar feeling of like, look at this thing I know about, which we're kind of trying to ruin right now by telling you all about it. But still, it's still a really, you know, it still has that kind of vibe of like, look at this thing that I like that not many people know about and is excited and more people should know about this.
It's more special. It's like you have more ownership over
Yes,
it.
and that's kind of how I feel about this movie. Alright, and now before you attack us, this is Catherine's idea and she's bisexual.
Fine, okay. We're gonna give this a Kinsey scale rating as well. I'm a perfect 3. I would give this a 4 out of 6 on the Kinsey scale. I think there's something just inherently queer about questioning this suburban society. I think part of it is about gender roles, like Brad versus Farley. It's like, who's the successful man? Women are women and men are men, and I think it's just gay to make a commentary on that.
Yeah, I think this, I also agree with 4 out of 6, I think. If Rocky Horror is a 6 out of 6, this is a 4 out of 6.
Yeah.
This isn't as gay as Rocky Horror.
It's just not as sexy.
But yeah, but I think a lot of the aesthetic and like how colorful it is, and just the fact that it's written by these people, it's weird, it's campy, it's kitschy. It's definitely still more gay than it is straight. I would say it's still on the more.
It's queer.
It's pretty queer. Yeah. Yeah.
In every sense of the word.
Mm-hmm. Because we're... Oh my gosh, and that's the end of our review.
I'm surprised.
Are you shocked?
No, I'm surprised.
Okay, you ruined the joke. Okay, so, alright guys, so feel free to comment and subscribe, like the video. If you subscribe, we're going to be trying to do more videos like this. We're really excited to start this series. We started this off with a movie that we have a lot of fondness for, even if we don't, Catherine doesn't always enjoy watching it.
I just don't know what the fuck happened.
That's very fair. But if you want to see us do some movies, feel free to comment. As long as it's gay, we'll do it. No straight movies here.
That's our promise.
To you.